So, hi guys, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing? So, how are you practicing towards ML and all? Have you started with the projects or how is it going?
Ma'am, we have been working with some data sets as of recently.
Okay,
We are still learning about Python libraries for now and practicing with some data sets.
okay, very good. So, first, let me just introduce myself. My name is Amrutha S, and currently I'm working in Capgemini Bangalore as a data analyst. So I feel like it's a really booming field and you won't get bored easily. I mean, every day you get new data sets and new challenges, and that's what makes it really, interesting field as compared to other techie jobs. So I'll just begin with the overview. I'll just start with the overview of what is data science and machine learning and all. I'm pretty sure all of you must be interested in machine learning, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if I just coin the word data science to you, then what is your perspective? What is actually data science? Are you guys there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is actually data science from your perspective of view?
I think it's about making some interesting conclusions from whatever data we are able to extract from anything like any field. If we are in a company, then we will have some
Mhm.
data extracted from our customers. So any interesting conclusions which can help improve our services, that is all data science is about.
Yes, correct. Absolutely correct. And anyone else would like to present their view? Hello. Okay, so let's begin with the session of what is basically data science. So see, data science is basically it's a domain which will help you to solve the real life problems. Like when you enter an industry, there will be many problems. Like for instance, weather forecasting, or if you want to build some model for predicting the diamond price, or maybe you want to get to know whether the diamond is fake or not. We want to, there's a domain called cybersecurity where in there also ML comes into picture, like whether we need to know the mail that received is spam or non-spam, it's a fraud or non-fraud. I mean, is the mail it will lead to hacking or not? So this all comes into picture when we can solve this using data science. So there are different domains present about data science like machine learning, deep learning, and then NLP, that is natural language processing. So these all interlinked with each other. So see, when we learn data science, these all things are interlinked with each other. Like computer science, the logic under computer science, the machine learning algorithms, the statistics. Statistics is like a very major part. If I'm pretty sure many of our present here must be loving mathematics. So if you're loving mathematics, then this field will be really similar to you. And don't worry if you're not even loving mathematics, because I myself don't like mathematics much. But when I started learning data science, then mathematics became interesting automatically. So that's the magic of data science. Also, software development. Like when you want to showcase any visualize any graphs or anything, in industry we use many kind of graph, uh, like bar plot, pie chart, in order to visualize the data. And we visualize this using many software tools like Tableau, Power BI. I mean, you will learn a lot of things ahead once you enter in this domain. Then business. Solving the business problems is the main agenda of data science. Like for instance, I mean, you all must be heard of stock market, right? Or any of you are interested in stock market or anything like that.
Yes, ma'am.
You're interested, right? So you can easily predict the stock of, I mean, the price of the stock upcoming in upcoming years, upcoming months, or even upcoming weeks using data science. You can build a machine learning model which predicts the stock price. Next is business analytics. Same, the same thing that involves in business analytics is that you'll be given a business problem, and then you need to state a very good approach by which the problem can be solved. Like you can, I mean, you can figure it out which are the elements that are required to solve that particular problem. Like there will be many columns. Of course, you must be practicing different data sets. So few columns would not actually be of much importance. You can just remove it and solve it further. Now, career in data science. I mean, you all know data science is right now the booming field, and artificial intelligence is the future as of now. So it has a very good like if anyone want to enter as a machine learning engineer or data analyst or data engineer, then I'm pretty sure you all have a really good future. Like it's really helpful in the field of like, I mean, e-commerce. I've just listed few of them. There are many other too. Like in the case of e-commerce for recommending products, when you purchase something from Amazon, like you would be getting some recommendations, right? Like similar products. Have you observed this thing?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is through a data science itself. That's a particular domain called recommendation system. There's another topic by which the products you have selected, based on that the results appear. It is either way helpful for the companies to gain their customers. For instance, right today I searched laptops, then next I'll be getting lot of advertisement regarding laptops from HP, Dell, MacBook, many things. So either way, I'm attracted towards the product and I buy it, and ultimately the companies get the profit. So that's what how data science is really helpful in the e-commerce field. When it comes to manufacturing, then in order to check the performance of a particular product, like a product, like if it has any defect or not, if it's working fine or not, then you can like in few steps you can identify it. That's the beauty of this field. And then banking, the main the like like what you call the prominent thing that comes into picture in the banking is fraud detection. You never know whatever mails you get via in the name of bank, it's legit or it's legit true or not. You don't know. That's where that's where few models are built in order to detect the fraud, whether it's spam or non-spam. Then with the help of I mean, when you're solving data sets, there will be different data sets of banking as well, where you need to build a model for credit, like you need to build the credit risk modeling and all. So you can easily like picturize what are the customer needs, what are the customer, like what is the customer up to. With the help of this, you have using the visualization tool or maybe EDA. These are the few applications you will be knowing in the day-to-day life, like in the case of healthcare and all, like medical history analysis. If you take up, if you take up for instance, if you take a like patient, then you don't need to like, f- I mean, in order to know what the patient is up to, you can just see its past data. You can just analyze it, and once you analyze it, you get it. What is, I mean, with this patient. And when it comes to transport and all, like you all must be using Uber and Ola. So how the Uber and Ola like identifies your location. It's using the AI tool itself. The case of finance, as I told you, mentioned earlier, in the like stock market, you don't know today the stock is. You must have seen, right? Today the stock becomes high. After 1 hour, it becomes totally goes down. So you can just analyze it. Basically, the main agenda of data science is to analyze what's around you, and using analyzation, how can you make the thing better? That's the business need when you enter the industry. Our main agenda would be how to make the product better by analyzing it. These are the few job roles mentioned over here. Data scientist is the most premier role, I could say. I mean, in order to reach this position of title of data scientist, you need to first get in as a maybe business analyst or data analyst or maybe data engineer, and then you can eventually grow your field. It depends on the company. That some companies also take, if you are really inclined towards machine learning, some people may take you as machine learning engineer as well. So eventually, how many of you want to become your data scientist? I mean, can you please? I'm not really able to read your chats.
You guys can turn on your voice.
S- Sorry.
Talking to them.
Hello.
Amrita, I was saying to them, like if they want to say something, they can unmute themselves.
Yeah. Please unmute. And if you face any doubt and all, please interrupt. I'm not really able to see the chats here. So
So if you guys feel anything that you want to ask, just feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
And what will be the difference between a data scientist and machine learning engineer?
see, learning engineer only solves the problems based on machine learning. Like for instance, if you want to build any model or anything like diamond price prediction, if you want to predict the diamond price or anything, the main role of machine learning engineer would be just he would build the model and submit it to the data scientist. Then later on, data scientist has to take forward the model, then check it. Like he will do the testing and all. Then he will pass it to the client. He would be the person who would be presenting to the client. He'd be doing everything, testing, or if it has any error or anything, then he will resolve it. Then everything, the uh, testing and all, it's the role of data scientist. And directly, data scientist is the one who is presenting to the client, not the ML engineer. Basically, what if, for instance, if you build a model, particular model, and if it has error, you are not knowing that it has an error. But if data scientist also, for instance, he does not know that there's an error, then and he presents in front of the client, then full responsibility would be on data scientist. Like he would be getting that what you call tag that there's an error in this. You would won't be getting. So the all of these roles I've mentioned here, full responsibility comes on data scientist. Whatever task would be given to you, if you once you perform it, you need to just pass on to your managers and then eventually last data scientist. Then he would be the one who would be testing trial and error. He would be testing it everything. And if it has any error or anything, then he would be the one who is would be responsible. So it's a very what you call risky task. Also, it has a very high paying as well.
Okay, ma'am.
Any other doubt?
Ma'am, but the
Uh,
skill set required for all these job roles will be similar, na?
Yeah, it will be similar. It would be similar. I mean, it would be really like for instance, it's not really necessary that you will even get into these roles. There are a few chances. Like few of my friends got in as a SQL developer or Python developer. But so they will be morely focusing upon SQL. I mean, in their company, they will be more getting like based on database administration and all. They'll be working on SQL. But eventually, you need to study everything. If you want to mix a very good career in data science, you need to study everything: SQL, Python, machine learning, everything. You need to be really, I won't say expert, but at least in an intermediate level you should reach. But once it's really important that you get into an industry as a any title. I'm not necessary that need to get as a ML or analyst role. We can get as a SQL developer also, as a Python developer also. But eventually, once you gain some experience, you can promote your. The manager would be promoting you in a business analyst role or data analyst role, or maybe if you're really performing good in your industry, and if you are interested in machine learning, then you can shift a domain. Not an issue at all. But the majority, the first step, the initial step would be getting into an industry. That's what the initial step would be. Later on, you can choose your domain. Any other doubts, guys?
And what is the current scope in these data scientist jobs in India today?
Scope is like very huge. In fact, a lot of people, a lot of companies are wanting for good candidates, but they are not getting. So the scope is like very huge. The vacancies are out there like very much huge, and they are in search of good candidates. So I think there's a very huge scope, and they're getting paid very well because everybody wants to become a very data analyst, but there's a lack of good data analyst out there. So whatever you say, the client is ready to pay you. So you can differentiate the all other data analysts present over there. If you practice, if you put a very good effort, if you start practicing good projects. Right now, all of you are in which year? Like it's in first year, second year, like which year? All of you.
First year.
Okay,
First
so
year.
right. So yeah. So from right now only you can start practicing different projects and all. See, after completing my bachelor's, I was in electronics and communication field. After completing my bachelor's only, I entered into this field. So I did not. There was no one to tell me like how. Like my mentor was definitely there, but later on I realized how like crucial this data science field is. I right now also I feel like wish I could have studied. I could have practiced Python better in my college days. So I really hope you guys also don't should not have this regret. I mean, right now if you're getting a lot of time, so should start uh, like gripping your hand on Python. Like learn as many languages. I mean, I would say try to learn the languages used for coding. But do learn Python. Python would be like evergreen. It would be very much useful. Right now, even there's a programming language called R, which is to be some industry use and some industry don't use. But Python is evergreen. So just if you're getting right now time, like learn Python as much as possible. Practice a lot of projects. It would be helpful to put on your resume because eventually your interview person would ask you he don't care what marks you got in 10th or 12th or even bachelor's. He would be more focusing upon your projects, what projects you have done, what projects are making you different from the other person. The interview person will be getting a lot of resumes per day, but what makes you different from the other resumes is your projects. So kindly choose the projects. Like don't choose some easy projects. Yeah, as a beginner you can start off practicing, but eventually do some really good elite projects which you can add into a resume and which would differentiate you from other resumes.
Also, like, is there any particular projects or skill set that I can work with for to getting placed in e-commerce related industry? Because I do have an experience in e-commerce area before, so that's why I'm
Okay.
asking.
Yeah, skill set as in you are like what are the like programming languages right now you are, I mean, you know
Python, Apple
Python,
Python.
you know, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see for you can learn MySQL, SQL, that is structured query language, then Python, and then yeah, be really thorough with Excel.
Okay.
MS Excel, you really think that MS Excel is easy, but when you get into
Yeah.
industry, a lot of people are right now also learning Excel. A lot of my friends are right now calling me, I mean, who are working in few of the elite industries, which are
Okay.
not right now taking the name of those industries, but they are calling me and asking for notes of MS Excel. So
Okay.
kindly do have a very good grip in MS Excel. In the advanced level, you go
Okay. Okay.
advanced MS Excel. Then machine learning, you have to have a really good grip at the algorithms of the machine learning.
Also, is there any projects you can suggest for like for
Yeah,
particularly
yeah.
for you?
See, there's a yeah e-commerce. Yeah, there's a platform called Kaggle.com. Are you
Oh
guys
yeah.
aware?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kaggle, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you can filter it out. You want projects from e-commerce, just filter it out that you want projects from just search e-commerce, and then you
Okay.
will get a lot of projects related to e-commerce.
Okay. Okay.
And then when you just choose a good project, and then there will be also code mentioned in the side where you can refer it
Okay.
and just use it for reference, but do opt your own style,
Correct. Correct.
because there
Okay.
might be some situation when the interview person would ask you that already the solution is given in the Kaggle, then what have you done? So
Okay.
you have to have an answer to that question as well. So opt your own technique method. If you're facing problem, ask to your professor, ask your ma'am, whoever is taking
Okay.
Python, or who's guiding you. Ask them doubts. Then eventually you'll be really well. You can crack any interview.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Amrutha.
Okay. Any other
Um,
queries?
yeah,
Yeah.
ma'am, how is data analyst in comparison to SDD on the basis of workload and type of work they do?
See, our main aim would be to extract the data. Like they will be given, for instance, a company website will be given to you, and we need to extract the data in form of Excel. And see, for extraction of data, there is another thing we use that's called web scraping. Also, guys, with this, if you learn web scraping, also it will be adding a very very good impact on your resume. So kindly, if you also learn with Python, SQL, MS Excel, if you learn web scraping, it would be also beneficial. So our role would be like we need to extract the data from a particular website, or whatever they like provide. Which company, like every day we'd be getting new clients. So presently, who is our client will be getting the data. We would extract the data, and then we need to, according to the problem, we need to figure it out. Like what is the solution to this problem? For instance, if the problem is like more customers are not, like for instance, customers are not buying the credit cards, they're mostly buying the debit card. So what's the reason behind it? What's the factors affecting it? So you can simply do it using like you can form a model which tells you like what's the factors impacting why customers are not buying credit card but they're going for debit card. What's the factors behind it? So that's what the role of data analyst is, to give like to just form once you like form a graphs and all, you get to know what's the factor behind it. So our main tool would be just to like script it and then pass it on to the other ML engineer people who'd be again further working upon it. So it's chain is like connected. You can't be like it's all connected basically. One SQL developer is connected to Python. Sometimes we need to extract the data via SQL theory. So according to the project, the requirements vary. But in short, the main role of data analyst would be to analyze the data and to give some better solutions to it.
Ma'am, you mentioned about modeling. So is it the means I'm not aware actually, but is it the data analyst, the one who do this modeling simulation and for
See,
the
it
this
depends on
digital
actually
twin and all
project.
those?
Mainly the modeling would, who does the modeling is ML engineer. But few projects we get it, and then in few projects we sometimes we have to do modeling. If it's necessary, then we have to. Depends on the projects actually. Different projects, different tools we use. Like not necessary that in this project we will use SQL or in this project we use web scraping. Some projects we have to use web scraping. In some projects we use SQL. Some projects we use Tableau Power BI for visualization. We cannot use EDA. So it basically depends on the project. Every month you'll be getting new projects, and it's not like there'll be. Don't worry, there'll be training. There'll be a training session going on for 6 months or 7 months. You'll be giving you training. So based on the training, you'll get a lot of projects. Every month you'll be getting new projects. So you need to work upon it. So you use different tool. You can extract the data with help of SQL also if it is in the Excel format. If it's not in the Excel format, then there's no other way. You have to extract from the website using web scraping.
And ma'am, last question is ki I'm aware of the fact ki how demanding data analyst role is,
Mhm.
but I have experience in development and problem solving, but not in this data extraction. So could you please
Okay.
tell me ki how interesting this job is? Like, do we enjoy doing this, or how can we figure out this?
Yes, see, figuring it out is like I could say it's a very interesting job. Right, I'm really enjoying it actually, and but you can figure it out once you enter the industry. Like for an example, a few of my friends they enjoy the role of ML engineer as compared to data analyst because they are morely like inclined towards ML like they are mostly into machine learning. So, but initially they got into the industry as a data analyst. Then they performed there very well. So they asked the manager if they could shift the domain to machine learning engineer as a machine learning engineer title. So so he approved, and then you just have to build models. You're into the modeling section. So, but all I could say is, yeah, you will enjoy it because it's not like you have to sit on you don't have to do the same thing every day. Every day I mean, in every project you will face different challenges, different curve of learning. I mean, who likes to eat everyday rice, right? Who's to? That's what is in the this line itself. Every day you don't do every day the same thing. Every day you get to know like a lot of new things. You do differently, and it's not like only you have to do. There would be a teamwork. I mean, you would be assigned to a team, and you should work in a team. So there's a like it's very interesting actually to discuss what are the approaches to it, what can be done, and there will be getting few error. So, but don't be upset. You're getting error means you're directing into something good. So you'll keep enjoying the role. Personally, I would feel. What are you like interested in? Are you interested in machine learning or how is it?
Figuring out, ma'am, not yet. Like, I haven't done much, I think, and in any of those things, so I'm not sure ki what I
Okay.
am interested in one most. But I got my answer, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Amrita, I think we should move forward because we also have constraints on time.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. No one has any doubt, right, regarding the job roles or anything?
I think we can discuss some things at the end
Okay,
of
yeah,
the
sure.
meeting or later stage.
Now, the main agenda is like to know what is machine learning, because if you're whatever title you're entering into a company, it's very much is crucial to know machine learning. Either way, you have to learn everything, but also machine learning is really essential. So machine learning is actually this. Everyone must have heard the field of AI, right? Artificial intelligence. So the subfield machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence. I think somebody said the chat box, and I think I mean I just heard the notification too. If you could say it out.
It's Kaushal and he's saying ML engineer.
Sorry.
Ma'am, it was I sent it earlier. My doubt is clear now.
Oh, okay, okay, cool, cool. So machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence. Then under machine learning comes deep learning. That deep learning as in for instance, you're using the Google Assistant, right? Siri and all. So Siri is all developed using the algorithm of deep learning. This all have different algorithms inside it. So under deep learning comes neural network. Neural network as in like we have a neural network the same way neural networks function in the machines. We need to activate the neural networks of the machine. This all has a really it's I mean this I'm just giving you an overview, but there's a lot of you can go in depth if you're really interested in this all fields. Just have to research upon it. You will figure it out which are you interested in. Like see, a human being he can learn from the experiences. Yeah, but machine it learns through the past data, like how the past data is reacting the ways with the help of past data machine learning is able to predict the future data. Then few of the applications of machine learning are like traffic alerts when you see the Google Map, then at the time you are able to figure it out that which has more traffic in which area it has more traffic and all. It's using the algorithm of data science. And then social media and Facebook, you are automatically it's able to recognize that in the post who the person is. Then product recommendation, then Google Translation from English to Hindi, we're able to translate using Google Voice. It's all the application of machine learning. I'll share this PPT to you. You can just once go through it. So how ML works is that there will be a training set given to you, and then you need to figure it out whether it's unsupervised or supervised. Unsupervised means you have your target variable. I mean, if I'm telling you diamond price prediction, then price is the variable out there. And if a training set is given where there is no labeled, that's unlabeled data, there is no label given to you. Just have to figure it out what you have to do with this data. Then we use supervised algorithms. Then once you figure it out among these two, whether it's unsupervised or supervised, then you need to extract some features from it, which are the important features. Not all columns would be not all columns would be important. So you need to figure it out which columns are important. That's called feature extraction. Once you extract the features, you have to choose which algorithm is giving the accuracy at the highest. Like there are many algorithms involved. Can you please state few of the algorithms if I come across? Hello.
To be honest, Amrita, they haven't studied that part yet, but I'll
Okay.
just name a few. Random forest, XGBoost, gradient
Yeah,
boost,
yeah.
data boost, configuration.
Okay. So see, there are many algorithms involved out there, like linear regression, logistic, random forest, like I stated, random forest, XGBoost. So you need to apply you need to one by one apply the algorithm and which gives the most accuracy. We need to pick that model. Once you pick out that model, then after that you are able to do the prediction of the future data. So, but I'll just give you an overview, what is supervised learning algorithm and all. Supervised as in it's a labeled data, like you are already know what you have to predict. Already you aware that on what basis you have to do the prediction. Under supervised also there are three things that come under. That's called classification, regression, and ensembling. Classification, as in, for instance, smoker or non-smoker, yes or no, true or false. There are only two ways by which we can classify, either it's true, false, yes, no, like that. And in regression, your target variable would be target variable as in of which we have to predict. That's called target variable. That would be continuous, like age, BMI. Age is in a numerical form, it's continuous. The age is like random. In BMI also it's random. And sampling as in you need to gather all your past data into one place, and then you need to build a model upon it. That's called ensampling. And under ensampling also there are different algorithm. In fact, under these three category, classification, regression, and ensampling, there are different algorithms that comes into the picture. You can just you can actually go deep into it. It's very interesting. Like say supervised as in see, we are already giving the input as apple. We know these apples, so we are just training the model that you're just training it that yeah, this is apple. Now once your model is trained, for instance some new object comes into some new fruit comes into the model, then the model will predict whether it's apple or not. For instance, if I bring into the model banana, then it would give the prediction as no, it's not banana. In unsupervised, there is no label. The data is unlabeled. There is no, we don't know like for in which we have to predict, for on what factor we have to predict. So under these three things comes into picture: association, clustering, and dimensionality reduction. You can also learn into it. Like the topic is like very vast. It cannot be covered in like an hour or 2 hour, but you can slowly and steadily learn upon it. What is association, clustering, and dimensionality? Now, in unsupervised, the input is like either for, I'm just taking here a very easy example. Like there are three cats and two dogs. We're giving it to the model. Now, the model will segregate it as like one category of dogs and one category of cats. But whereas in supervised, we already know it's an apple. So the model just had to predict whether it's apple or not. If we add a new element to it, it's apple or not, like that. But here, the model itself segregates. Yeah, this many dogs are present, this many cats are present. Now I have stated algorithms in one page, like different supervised learning algorithms. These all are algorithms actually, and each algorithm works differently. And if you learn the mathematics behind it and how each algorithm works, it will be really easy for you to solve any problem from whether it's hackathon or Kaggle, any platform. You can easily solve it. These are the like algorithms that I have mentioned, and once you go through it, it will be very much easy for you to solve any kind of projects. Doesn't matter it's intermediate or hard or anyone, you can easily solve it. I mean, I'll just show a very basic project on I hope my screen is visible to you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so see here I
Yes,
have
Amrutha,
take.
your screen is visible.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah.
Can you please say the topic name again?
Yeah, it's stroke prediction. The project I have taken
Okay.
from is from Kaggle, and I've
Okay.
taken the project on stroke prediction. Like you need to predict whether what are the chances of like having stroke or not. What are the factors affecting it? Why are people getting stroke? That's our main business problem. I'll share this also. Once you go into the link, you will come to know basically in this link only. In the Kaggle only, the dataset is available. So I just picked up a dataset and I tried to use logistic regression. I tried to build a logistic regression model, and I'll tell you why I choose logistic. Why not any other algorithm like linear or random forest? Why I did not picked up that. So, shall we begin? I mean, I'll once explain you how to give an approach to it, and in the same way, you can approach it to other problems as well. Would it be fine?
I think it would be fine. Do anyone have to say anything?
No, ma'am, it's
Hello,
fine. Yes, ma'am,
that's
it's fine.
fine. So I think we can move on.
Okay. So see, once you take a problem from Kaggle or just Kaggle is the best website to get real-time data sets. They provide real-time data sets, so you can eventually have an idea how the industry level works, how the industry problems also are present over there, and it's a very good platform practicing as well. So the first step is like I import the like a lot of libraries which we need to import. Like I'm like this for NumPy, pandas, for splitting of data into training and testing. So this whatever you're using, whatever you are going to use, you have to use the library related to it, and you don't need to remember any of the library. You'll just find it over internet. So like you all are aware how to import the data set, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Amrita, there's a question from Pushkal. He's a second
Yeah.
year student. He's asking what all projects can we do if we have just started ML and exploring the field? Like they're not that
Huh.
much, they're in the beginner level, but they still want to do they still want to try on their hands on some projects. So are there any recommendations that they can, work on?
Yeah, yeah. See, there is one project called uh, heart rate prediction. We can work
Heart
upon
rate
heart rate.
prediction.
Yeah, yeah. You will just type it on Kaggle, no, you will get it.
Okay, so
And there is also, and then also second thing for like if you want, as if you're a beginner and if you want to play with any toy data, go for Iris data. It's a very much easy and you can learn it very easily. It's a very basic data, Iris data.
uh, so I think we can get all these data sets on Kaggle. We just have to search on
Yeah,
them in the website, right?
you get in Kaggle. You just have to search it and then download the data set, and then you
And
will get
then we
it.
can do some analysis, some algo. We
Yeah,
can
yeah,
apply
yeah.
some algos
You
on
can,
that.
yeah, yeah. You can play with the data. You can start playing, and then eventually you learn. See the how see theoretical knowledge is also required, but moreover hands-on experience is required. You have to practice a lot many projects. A mentor used to say that practice 30, 50, 100 Kaggle projects in order to get that get from like, get in the line of intermediate to expertise level. So practice as many projects as you want. Make errors, it's fine. Getting errors is the I think ultimate line to learning anything. Get it's fine. So you can go for iris, you can go for heart rate prediction. Then stroke prediction is also like you can. This also has a start like much difficult. You can practice this also stroke prediction also. And even if you once enter Kaggle, no, you can just mention easy data set. There would be levels given, beginner, intermediate, difficult, hard, like that. You can choose beginner option and then you can start scripting.
I think we can move on, right?
Okay. No one has any doubt, right? Further doubt?
Uh, mm, does anyone
No,
want to
ma'am.
ask
No, ma'am.
anything?
Okay.
I don't think so. So yeah, we
Okay.
can. You can carry forward.
Okay. So, see, so I've just imported this data set and it looks like this. And why I used logistic algorithm is because we know we have to predict the stroke. We're already aware of the our target variable, that is stroke. So see, either it's one or it would be either it would be one or it would be zero. That is one means you have stroke, zero means you don't have stroke. And how I got to know that once one means it has stroke is that from the some data. When you download the data set, no, there will be a description uh, uh, page in which they'll be mentioning one means stroke is there, 0 means there is no stroke. So in that way you can figure it out. But if my target variable, that is if my target variable is in the continuous form, for instance 10, 24, 48.8, 44.8 or something like that, then I should go for linear regression model. I could not apply logistic model. Okay, once I loaded it, I use the command of df.info. Df is the data frame name which I've mentioned here. Using this command, I'm able to get all the information, like how many columns are there, how many columns are non-null, then what is the data type of the project of the column, like whether it's integer, object, float. Object as in like it's categorical, and integer as in it's in the integer form, and float as in it's in the what you called it's also in the numerical form itself, but sometimes it's mentioned in the float form, and it's totally okay. And then next I found out the shape, like I just want to know how many rows and columns are present. Though I can get it from here also, that how many rows and columns are present, but still, if you want to get it, if you want to get it in a like kind of in a single command also, you can get it using df.shape. Then I wanted to check how many null values are present over there. So I use the command of I use this command, and then I got to know that there are 201 null values present in BMI. Guys, be aware that you should not have any null values present in the data set. First, you have to treat those null values. Then only you will get a good accuracy model. Otherwise, you will get you won't get a good model. You'll get a very weak model. So in order to for null value treatment, see, I've replaced the null values with the mean. Why I used mean is because it's an continuous data form. Like in BMI, it's in numerical form, like 24, 25, it's in a continuous form. But if instead of BMI, it would be a categorical form, like smoking status, yes or no. If this column if would have a null value, then I would replace it by mode. All aware, right, of mean, mode, and median, everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if it would have been categorical, then I would have replaced this null values with mode. But since it's numerical form, it's an integer form, so I replaced it with mean. See, once I replaced it with mean, my null values are gone. There's no null values present over here. Now, if I need to get the mean, max, and everything at one go, then I just have to click on describe command. Once I clicked on describe, when I use this command, I'm able to get everything what I want. See, I can say, if you ask me what is the maximum age present in the data set, I could simply say it's 82 by looking at this the result. If you want, if you want to say like who, like what is the um, minimum age present, that's what also I mean here it's 0.08, but you need to also solve that. That comes in the data manipulation step, and you will solve it. For instance, somewhere like see, because age cannot be 0.08, it's invalid. So you need to treat it. That's called, that is under feature engineering, where you need to treat each of the, that's like this happens due to, sometimes it's happening due to human error, like when you are entering it into Excel sheet, sometimes you write incorrect age, sometimes incorrect date or anything. Here it is. Then stale command I use just to see the like the ending top 5 data. And see, when I use the tail, here I can see that the smoking status is unknown. So I just simply replace the unknown column. Like I removed it actually. I did not replace it, my bad. I removed the unknown column because These are the total unknown columns present in a data set. So I have removed the columns present as, like, I've just removed the unknown columns. Since the information is like unavailable for the particular patient, incomplete information is also dangerous, so I have removed it. Then after that, I dropped the ID column because it's not really essential to have the ID column. So I've simply removed the ID column, and then I've made a pair plot. Pair plot is like you'll get an like a picture, like a overall picture how the graph is forming for the stroke and all. Like, it's just for visualization, just to have an idea how the graph is. Also, with the pair products, you can get to know whether it's linear or logistic. For instance, if the in linear, it follows y equal to mx plus c rule. That is, the line should be like it would be in a straight line. It should be a straight line. So since you can see there's no straight line there, so that's also explanation which you can use it like for opting for logistic. Since I've mentioned here, see, I've mentioned here, no, like earlier, the age is like 0.08. So these things are actually, there's a term involved which are called outliers. The age which are in the odd numbers, not only the age, anything, it can be BMI also. So these are some odd numbers, and there's a term called odd numbers called outliers. And we can check it using a single command. And guys, note it down, outliers are just for continuous columns. We cannot use outliers in form of categorical columns. We can just use it in the continuous format, in the continuous columns. So I just applied the command. The way, I mean, the method to see whether there is outliers or not is using the box plot. And this is box plot actually. This is how the box plot looks like. We can get, we can figure it out whether the outlier is present or not. So as you can see, these are columns. This age is like clean. It does not have any outlier. Hyperextension means either it's 0 or 1. So that's why it's showing like this. You can see in the column of average glucose level, there are a lot of outliers. Outliers is like, see, if you see some point beyond the box plot, those points are called outliers. So as you can see, there are a lot of outliers present in the average glucose level. Outliers as in basically, also you can say odd one out among the points. In BMI also, there are a lot of outliers present. See, like if any data point lies beyond this particular box, these are called outliers. It can be here also, it can be anywhere. So these columns are having outliers, the average glucose level and BMI. So you need to either, it's better to treat outliers. Some of the people ignore the outliers, stating it's a natural outliers. But either way, it's better to treat in order to have a good accuracy. So there's a method called IQR actually, by which you can come to know how many outliers are present. See, once when you go through the script now, you just Google some of the terms like what is IQR, what is why I have only taken this quantile 0.75 quantile 0.25 quantile. You can once search upon it and you can get an
Man, we are aware
idea.
about interquartile range.
Acha, you're aware. Okay, then that's well and good. Then with the help of it, you will get how many outliers are present. As you can see, there are 68 outliers present. So there are two methods you can use. Either you can remove the outliers, or you can replace it with the higher end. Higher end as in you just have to replace, this is lower end, this is higher end. You have to replace it with the replace the outliers with the higher end. So what I have done is I have replaced it with the higher end. I've done it so that we don't lose any data, because somewhere data is useful. It's expensive actually. So before my box plot, it looked like this, and after treating the outliers, see, there is no outliers present here. The same way I have taken the BMI. For BMF column I've taken, and there are just two outliers. Either you can ignore it or you can replace it by higher end. But I have here replaced with the higher end. Let's see, there is one more outlier, which is just one outlier present, but we consider it as a natural outlier and let it be. We're not treating it because it won't be having a very big impact. One outlier won't affect the data much. Then comes
Mom, I
the,
have a query.
yeah.
Ma'am, in here, you just said that it's better to replace these outlier entries with
Hmm?
some other entries so that we don't lose out
Yeah.
on other valid column entries, right?
Hmm? Hmm?
But when we saw these smoking status, when we were discussing
Hmm?
about those smoking status entries,
Yeah.
there were some unknown entries. So
Hmm?
we just removed
Hmm?
those entire column and those entire
Yeah.
rows instead
Hmm?
of replacing them. So, for example, if we had
Hmm?
performed some operations on the remaining valid entries
Okay.
of
Hmm?
status, and by chance, if the result was that like 90% had not smoked,
Hmm?
so could we have just replaced those unknown entries with not smoked entries?
But like without even you're sure, like would it be what if the person would be actually yeah, smoking or maybe not smoking? You are not aware, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
this there was no because for stock prediction either the person should be smoking or the person should not be smoking. If it's unknown, then it would be difficult for us to predict. That's why I had taken that. I've just removed it. You can once also try with the approach that I've told. You can once try and build the model and see its accuracy. If it's giving a very good accuracy, then you can go forward with it. Not an issue.
Hello,
Okay.
Amrutha.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to ask like when do you drop a column or when do you
Hmm?
don't drop a column? If both the like in what like suppose a column has some
Okay.
unknown values,
Hmm?
nan values you can say. So how do you come to the conclusion that I have to drop this column or I should fill the nan values or the unknown values with mean, median, or mode? So how do you come to that conclusion? I think he was trying to imply that. I may be wrong.
Okay. So, like, see, it varies actually. Like, for instance, if there is a factor of in stock prediction, if there is a if it's in the case of gender or anything like male, female, or anything, then I don't think in for stock prediction, if you read that what you call business statement, then I don't think gender would have a much major impact. It's understood that either heart disease, whether if you have heart disease or if you're having a hypertension or if you're having depends on the glucose level actually, glucose level or BMI. All these factors would have a major impact. So based on the once you when you read the business problem, you will come to know like you like which is essential. For instance, if I take the project of, I'm just giving an example. If I take the project of diamond price prediction, it does not matter that the dealer is male or female, right? So according to the column, you can like justify whether you need to drop it or not. If you think it's important, then you can actually keep it. If you don't think it's not really essential, then you can drop it. That's what the approach would vary from person to person. If you think that the column is like it's important, you can just keep it and you can build a model. But if the model is not giving good accuracy, and then just drop the model and then build one model and then check the accuracy. That it's like a trial and error game. From the columns I mentioned here, like for stroke, like what is just, I mean, a general idea. What do you think is really important when a person has having stroke?
Age, hypertension, heart disease, these factors.
Yeah, that's what it does not
Marriage
matter.
status might not
Ah,
matter a lot.
yeah, exactly. Marriage status won't matter much. ID, gender, it does not matter much. So that's where you need to figure it out, basically, according to the business problem, that whether this column is important or not, whether this is like is gonna be important for me in the future or not. You need to like figure it out. It's upon the individual actually. If you think it's important, you can keep. Otherwise, you can remove it actually. But just have to read the requirements. You need to understand the problem very well. Hello.
Yeah, Amrita, thanks. You can move on.
Okay. Now next, there's the EDA where we can visualize the our columns. So I've just visualized all our categorical as well as continuous columns one by one, just to like see. Although I'm getting from here, this one, see in gender, there's also just one person present as other. So this is not of much mere importance. I've as per my analysis. That's why I have mentioned I have not taken the other category and have plotted the gender of male and female. But you can just see from here that there are more of female patients present as compared to the male patients. Then I've compared in the count. This is just the count plot. Then I compare the stroke with gender, like which gender is having at most stroke. The I mean this stroke as in this one is like either 1 or 0. I have mentioned here, right? Stroke 1 or 0. So based on those 1 and 0, male is having the at most like it has maximum patients are male who has stroke. This is how you are having a picture of it. Like using this bar plot, you're able to figure it out. Male patients are having stroke more as compared to female. Then ever married. I've just taken each column just for analysis, like just for like what do you call it, picturization, just as a visualization tool. I mean, see if you're working in any company or anything, and if your boss does that, and just need the a picture of it, and you just need visualization form. So this is how we do it. Just have to make the different kind of plots and keep it in one place as a form of PPTs or Word format, and you need to present to the boss. That's why I've taken all the columns. Not necessary that this column would be essential or not, but just for the company case studies and all, you can make plots. And I think it's really enjoyable making plots and all. Like you can figure it out. I mean, there's not only this many plots involved. There are many pie. You can use pie chart also. You can use swan plot also. Do you have any doubt in any of the plots or anything? I've made all the plots. For the age, you have to use distribution plot. It's, both plot are same only. I've just used dist plot and here dist plot. Both are distribution plots. So anybody have any doubt till now?
No, ma'am. No doubt till now.
Okay. So for the continue, just for categorical only, you can use count plot and all. For continuous, you need to use plots like distribution plot. Average glucose level is also in a numerical form. So that's why we use the plots called distribution plot. Then this is heat map. Basically, it's used for seeing whether there is any multicollinearity between features or not. Multicollinearity as in like one feature is related to another feature or not. Like, see, for instance, age versus hypertension. If I see, then see age versus hypertension, the number is 0.28. 0.28 is like very much low. So we can say there is no multicollinearity present. That is, both of these features are not related to each other. And at most, when you visualize it, like see, almost none of those features are related to with each other. There is no uh, multicollinearity present. Then what I did was I've just splitted the numerical and categorical features into one session just to like to standardize it, because this also comes in the machine learning model that when you're having a continuous column, as you can see the range, it's one is 67, the other average glucose is 169, it's 28. So in order to bring into a particular range, like it would be in the range of 0 to 1, I suppose, or maybe in a particular range, not 0 to 1, my bad, like into a particular range would be set by the machine itself. So for bringing it, we need to standardize it actually. So just to standardize it, I've first separated the numerical and categorical features. See, I mean, it's the once I have separated it, I've just I've separated here by like numerical data. So I'm using the standard scalar in order to scale the data. The numerical data into a what you call it, in a float numbers, like in a 1.1, 1.2, in that order. This is also like I wouldn't say it's a very compulsory step, because according to the project it varies. But you have to, if you're having such kind of data set, that it's very much essential if you would standardize it before building the model. After standardization is done, we need to do label encoding. That is, see, you all know machine would understand the numerical form. Machine understands in a numerical form. It understands numbers. So we need to convert all this into numbers. The yes, yes, the private, self-employed, this urban, rural, none, everything we need to convert into a numerical form. So it would be like it would be assigned as either 0, 1, or if there are like 3 columns present here, then it's assigned as 0, 1, 2, 3. It always starts with 0. It won't start with 1. And it is a way, and this I would say it's a very compulsory step when you are having a problem which has categorical form of data. Then we need to, for model building, we need to convert into numerical. And for that, we use a technique of label encoding. There are other techniques also present, like dummy variable and all. You can search into it, you can look into it as well. But here I've used the method of label encoding. Then once I have done with the label encoding, now since our target variable is stroke, I want to see, I want to balance the stroke also. This is also a very compulsory step we have to use, we have to, in order to gain good accuracy. Initially, our target variable was like 0 has 4862 and 1 has 249. So I just need to balance this thing off. Not to balance, I use the technique called smart. That's called synthetic minority oversampling technique, which is used to balance this. And this is just using target variable. It's not used in any of the columns. This is just applicable for target variable. Once you apply this, like these are the steps that's involved. How to how to balance this. Like first you need to state when it first you need to declare what's x and y. That is x not equal to the target variable. This is equal to the target variable. Then we have to declare the function of smart. Even of the smart library also. This library also we had installed it earlier. Then once you have done with it, we need to split the data. Also, just remember either 30% would go into testing data and other 70% would go into training. You can also take 20% of testing and 80% of training. That's up to you. You can use a zero point 0.2 also. And random state also you can give, it's not necessary to give zero. You can give any number you want. Once I'm then this is the function used for oversampling. Once I'm done with the oversampling, just see the count of it's balanced. 0 is 3403 and 1 is 3403. If we don't do the sampling, then the accuracy would have a slight impact. So it's very much advisable to do sampling to balance the target variable. Just apply it in the target variable. You don't have to do it in other columns. So once I'm done with all these steps, the second step, the last step comes is to build a model, build a
Excuse me,
logistic. Yeah,
ma'am, can you scroll a little above?
yeah.
You had talked about using 30% of the data as the testing
Testing.
sample, and the rest will go for training the model.
Training. Yeah.
So, what if we like 70% of the data is used for training the model, and
Mhm.
we compare whatever result we get, we compare it against the 100% of the original data. So, what will be the issue there?
Like you mean you want to take uh 100% as the training data?
I mean that once we have created a model, instead of
Huh?
testing it against just 30% of the remaining data, what if we compare it against all of the original data?
But no, see, when the data is given, you have to, it's compulsory that either some portion will go to testing and some portion will go to training. So we cannot, whatever, see, on the train model is once it's built, the remaining third, with the remaining 30% only, you can, test it.
Okay,
Like,
ma'am.
you getting my point?
I think so.
Uh, Basically, I think he was asking why aren't you like you pick some training data? Why aren't you fitting it against the whole data? Like for prediction, why are you using testing data instead of the whole data set? I think he was trying to ask that. Um, I think we can move on. I think without
Okay.
Anika, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, we can.
Okay, then once you're done with everything, you need to build the model that's of logistic model. Mm, this I've just noted in order to see like what we have in X and what we have on the Y. Uh, just wanted to see it. X consists of everything other than the target variable, and Y consists of just the target variable. And then this is how you make your model. Like you have to, just declare the train test split. We need to split the data, and after that declare the function of logistic regression. Then you need to fit the logistic algorithm into X-train and Y-train. That's you have to train the model basically. Once you're trained with the model, then you have to check the accuracy. So our accuracy is 79 percentage. Then I've made the. I think you're not aware of confusion matrix and all, right?
No, ma'am.
Or are you
No,
guys
ma'am.
not aware, right? Okay. Okay. Basically, confusion matrix is like how many how many of them are correctly predicted and how many are incorrectly predicted, just to see it, just to see we are using this thing, confusion matrix. Like uh, I mean, this you can keep it for later on. Actually, this is an advanced level topic involved in the logistic. This is an advanced level topic. You can keep it. You can just solve till here actually, till the accuracy one. This is all a little advanced. Like you have to learn it initially. What is confusion matrix? How zero and one? How it's correctly predicted? What is precision? What is recall? I've mentioned the terms like precision, recall. Once you get the knowledge of it, then you will understand what's the confusion matrix and all. So you can just, as of now, you can keep this step aside and work on just till here. And I've built basically three models. First, using the linear, it's like a hyperparameter thing. Like hyperparameters are nothing but to make a model better, we use hyperparameter. So, and the model 2 I've created using another hypermeter known as Newton Saga. So, but I just wanted to compare the accuracy, like which model is giving the better accuracy. But as of now, both the models are giving same accuracy. The third model I have taken, built using Saga, and it's also giving the same accuracy as 17 percentage. So we can go with anyone. And this I mean, in everything I've mentioned the graph. That's this actually ROC graph. This is also into an advanced domain. So as of now, a beginner level, just practice till the accuracy one. Later on, you can study what's a confusion matrix, what's an ROC curve, because this is important as the perspective of interview. ROC and confusion matrix. So, any doubt you guys are having?
So I think the project part has ended right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So regarding the project, do you guys have any query, doubt, or I know that there are many things that we haven't discussed in the club, but still, if you think you have any general questions regarding the project, feel free to ask, and Amrita will answer them.
Yes, guys. Anything you want to know, like anything doubt you
Um,
have, other than
Abhishek, Ravina,
project or
Vakansha,
anything,
Disha,
or
Ayush,
what is the
Deepak, Dhruv, Divanshu, Rayam.
anything you have regarding the field of data science? Anything, any projects?
Ma'am, could you suggest some things that we should be looking out for when we are selecting topics for doing our projects?
Like you mean to say what kind of projects you need to choose upon?
Yes, ma'am. We had talked about selecting high-level
Uh-huh.
elite projects. So, how do we
Yeah.
decide which project is a good one?
See, once you log into, shall I once show the Kaggle the website once?
We have used some data sets from that website before. You can
Okay.
show, of course.
Yeah. So, okay. I hope my screen is visible to you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So from here, like a lot of people have a different interest. Like some may be interested in investing, some may be education, or maybe classification. Here you get classification problems. So based on your interest, you can simply choose it, investing and all. Then you get many data sets. So you can choose one of the data set and begin with it. In fact, somebody was asking, like, is it commercial, e-commerce and all there before? So either way, you can search here also. Like if you want relate to e-commerce, then you can search some of the e-commerce problems you'll get. Clothing reviews, like some of the student was asking regarding e-commerce, right? Earlier to me, how do you get e-commerce related data sets? So in this way, you can actually get it. And picking a project is like, I mean, based on your level, you can choose the project. Like if it's intermediate or not. Once you see the data set, you will come to know actually. And you can also participate in a lot of competitions. They have a very high level data set which they're offering. Once you look into the data sets and all, you will, once you download it from here data set, you'll come to know whether it's beginner level, like whether you can do it or not and all. Another doubt?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Ma'am, when I can consider myself eligible to go in the field of freelance in using this data science? Like I am
Uh,
beginner, very beginner right now.
okay. Once you have a command over Python, SQL, and ML, then you can consider yourself as a, you can go for freelancing. It's very much essential, but to have a very good command. And if you don't, if your SQL is okayish, even if your ML is also okayish, but it's really good to have a command over Python. Once you have a good command over Python, then you can proceed forward further. Even if you're like if you consider yourself good in yeah, you're a beginner, right? Okay. So but once you are thorough with the ML algorithms and everything, then I think you can go for direct industry level instead of going for freelancing. You'll get a lot of opportunities.
Okay, ma'am.
Do we have any other doubts? अगर इंग्लिश में दिक्कत आ रही हो तो हिंदी में भी पूछ लो. कोई समस्या है, कोई दिक्कत आ रही है, कुछ डाउट है, इंग्लिश में कंफर्टेबल नहीं हो तो हिंदी में भी पूछ लो. हेलो.
Ma'am, would you suggest any free course or something that we could refer to?
Yeah,
Or
sure. Like you can go to Coursera. Coursera has an amazing platform where they offer free courses. Just have to like search upon data science, then you will get it. Also, Udemy, they offer paid courses, but I think it's really worth the Udemy courses as well. I myself have done few of the Udemy courses, so I would suggest you to go for Udemy or Coursera, or maybe you can enroll in both and then take. You can learn a lot.
ma'am, and then we need to pay for that certificates for the completion, right?
Yeah, in Udemy we have to pay, but in Coursera, if you want certificate, you have to pay. If you don't need certificate, then you don't. It's free of cost.
Ma'am, so are they beneficial when we add them to our
Yeah,
CV or such?
definitely. Because as a fresher, so if you as many certifications you add, it's very much essential. Our even our like resume who is to make a resume and all we had few sessions of resume building, then they were asking why there is no certifications you have done. So it's very much, as a beginner, they will also see certifications and projects. As a fresher, actually. So once you're done with it, you can add in your resume that you have done from Udemy.
Amrita, we have a question from Shivans.
Yeah.
He's asking, uh, wait, I think if some features are affecting the target value in a non-linear way and some in linear way, do we drop that feature or we build a non-linear model? And are there any pre-built non-linear model? What if 50% features have non-linear relation like parabola and rest are linear? So what would you comment on that?
Yeah, definitely. Like, we can definitely build a non-linear model. Like, what logistic is a non-linear model. It's not a linear regression that does not comes. So if you want, you can build a non-linear model. It's not an like mandatory to build a linear one.
Like अगर
So,
some features are like in
huh?
parabola shape or something.
Huh?
So how do we
Huh?
deal with that?
Oh, that's totally fine. Like if it's in the shape or for non-linear, we don't have it to be in a linear shape. It should be other than linear as in it's in the like what you call straight line should be, and non-linear as in other than straight line, it can be of any shape.
So like that's my question कि अगर 50% features अगर non-linear way में affect कर रहा है और 50% linear way में affect कर रहा है तो हम लोग कौन सा मॉडल चूज करेंगे linear model
देखो,
चूज करेंगे या non-linear model चूज करेंगे
और भी एक other there are many other models we can make like decision tree, random forest, which I've not discussed, but you can build those models also like random forest, decision tree. You can also build KNN, naive Bayes. There are other models also that other than if you have such, if you're facing such issues, then you can build decision tree also, random forest and all. So other be like models here, existing here, which you can build.
Basically, I think she's trying to imply that there are other models in the field that you can use for
Yeah,
the problem if you are facing like 50% linear relation and 50% non-linear
huh.
relation.
That's what
Then
you
there
can
are other
build
models
a
you
model
can
based on
pursue.
decision tree. There are few models we can build, like I haven't discussed as of now. That's like decision tree, random forest, naive Bayes, KNN, K nearest. There are many. So you can apply that.
Right now, I guess.
Mm.
So you can ask like things how what's the procedure to get a job, how to get a job in the field of ML, that kind of stuff. Anyone?
Sometimes we get the data in form of I mean in SQL tables, so is it correct?
Mm. SQL tables, you get the data.
Instead of
Yeah, yeah.
CSV file,
Mhm.
so we use Python only to connect to SQL and then extract the data.
Even if it's in the SQL form also, it's totally fine. You can convert into the Excel format and later on you can apply in that Python Jibri notebook.
Okay, so is it not necessary to learn SQL queries?
No, it's necessary. It's definitely necessary. You have to learn SQL, you have to learn Python, you have to learn machine learning. But do have a grip on mainly on Python and machine learning. Even machine learning, I would say you just have a grip because either way, in industry, it's quite different as compared to the problems that maybe we're getting. I won't say it's totally different, but either way, it's different. But it's mandatory to learn this the the languages which I've stated. It's much essential. You can if I mean you are just entering into the data science field, we can begin with the SQL, then along that we can learn Python. Then later on, once you attain full grip on it, you can go to machine learning.
Okay, that was nice. Anyone else? from girls, like, do you want to ask anything? Disha, Akansha, and Ishika. अरे, गर्ल्स में से किसी को कोई डाउट है क्या? दिशा, आकांक्षा, इशिका, इशिका प्रेजेंट है यहाँ पे। हेलो।
No doubt, sir.
Anyone
Okay.
have any doubt, like regarding anything, how to get into the industry or anything?
Yeah, I think it would be a good question. Like, you can discuss how, like, get into the industry, because from what I've heard personally, there's not much demand for the ML and data science engineers at the bachelor's level. Like, suppose I graduate, like, I'll be graduating the next year only. So even if I have a good skill set in data science and ML, there are not many companies that are willing to uh, offer payroll to a bachelor's degree. And I think same is not true for the master's one. So suppose someone is doing bachelor's, and so what should be his roadmap, his or her roadmap? Like, suppose someone wants to build a career in data science and ML. So what should one do, like, to land a job in some good company as a data analyst or data scientist or an ML engineer?
See, I myself have just the bachelor degree.
Okay.
So what I did was I practiced lot of projects, n
Hmm.
number of projects. See, first step in any company once you apply would be resume filtering out.
Hmm.
So you have to make your resume different from the other candidates. Even you have done bachelor's, it's fine. Even the other person, if he or she had done masters in data science, but if you have more data, if you have more skill than that those master person who have done masters, then they will definitely take you. And if your projects are like unique, if you're having a good project data set, and if you've done additional works, like if you're given technical seminars, or maybe if you have done blogs are a very good you know thing which you could differentiate. Then you have done certifications. If that person has not done certification, if you have done certifications, then they definitely choose you. So just work upon your skill set, projects, and other extra things which could add, weight to your resume. Other things, as in certifications, blogs, seminars, and all.
So yeah,
Yeah, once
I
like usually in the industry, once you're done with the resume building, resume filtering out, then there will be different rounds. If you clear it out, does not matter. Even if you have a non-technical background also, you'll get into it.
no, that was something nice, even if you don't have technical background. So
Yeah, yeah, because I myself, I was not into, I'm not a computer science student, or my field was electronics and telecommunication. So
Hmm.
it's, I did not even studied Python or anything. Like I did not have a much exposure to it, I would say. At a beginner level, I had exposure, but and into advanced, I did not have.
Okay,
And
that
at the
was very
time, I
nice.
did not know I had to choose this. Otherwise, I would have prepared during my college days. Well,
Uh, one last thing, I would really request the girls to speak up a bit about what they felt, because generally it has been my observation that girls in our college are quite less enthusiastic about doing anything, and it actually pains us. So it was very nice to have a girl there and to speaking with us. So Disha, Ishika, and Kansha, I would just request you once again, if you have anything, how did you make out the session? What did you feel you learned? And you can ask any personal question, like, as a girl, what were the difficulties that she faced, because she has gone through many experiences that you might have to face in the future, and it will be a very good, like, if you can just have a guidance from her. So Ishika, Disha, And Akasha, do you have anything to say? Hello, are you there or not? Hello, Disha. Disha, Akansha, or Rishika, anyone? I think there's a seems to be a connection issue. So I think one last answer. What if we want to combine our projects? Hey Amrita, are you there?
Yeah, 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 I'm here.
Rishika has asked like how can we integrate different projects into one? Suppose she is asking what if we want to combine our projects, like a, a multidisciplinary project is what she's asking. How can we do that? So if you're going to give me,
Like ML and web development, as in.
yeah, I think she is asking as an example also.
Okay, see, we definitely can combine. And I don't know the back end of the how to combine and all, but uh, there are many companies which want to develop websites which are based on AI. So definitely it can come into the picture, but I'm not really aware of the back end of the process.
Okay, it's fine, Shika. It's fine, Shika. Shivan says one last question. I think we will have to wrap up soon because it's meal time now. One last question from Shivan's. He's asking, let's say we have a large data set and a classification problem is given. Now, like why we will not use deep learning? Like we do not really have to do much work like dropping some features like in machine learning. So why do not like we use machine deep learning? He's asking like if we have a very great tool in the form of deep
Mm,
learning, why we are going with all the parts of classical ML like the cleaning data, EDA, and
yeah,
splitting data? Why are we going through that stuff if we have deep learning present? So your
for
take on
the
that?
accuracy, basically
Okay.
for the accuracy, because we are making the model for the client. So if the model does not runs well, then either way it's gonna affect us. As comparatively in ML, we go through each steps just for to get the accuracy, to get the ultimate accuracy. Because eventually at the end of the day, uh, we are making it for the client. So that's what.
Okay. I guess we will have to wrap up our session. So, Amrita, it was really nice to have you here. It
Yeah,
took
sure.
us this pains after two postponements. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was our first session of this club, and I think the first session of this in the history of our club. So yeah, I would request everyone, Riyanshu, Ujjwal, and we can open our camera and we can take a quick kind of thing. Nitish, will you do the pleasure? But wait a second.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am, for the nice sessions. I think
Yeah,
that
sure.
Nitish,
It's
he is
it's my
our
pleasure
actually
to be.
GS. Nitish is a GS of our technical
Okay.
board.
Hmm?
So I'll just request all of you to open our camera so we can have a I can post on LinkedIn that we did something good. Sanidhi, Saurabh, Shishak, Shivansh, Yash, Shreyansh. So yeah,
And yeah, like in further, if you face any difficulties or if you have anything to ask upon, you can just mail me. I have mentioned my mail ID in the PPT. I'll just share the PPT. You can reach me out.
okay. Thank you very much. Please do share the PPT and do share the mail. And I think I have
Yeah,
your
yeah,
mail,
sure.
so I'll just forward it.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'll just forward the script also. Maybe it might be useful when you learn class other things like confusion matrix and all.
ओके वन लास्ट चांस किसी को कुछ बोलना है क्या क्वेश्चन कैसा गया एक बार बता दो मैम को भी अच्छा लगेगा
Thank you, ma'am. This session was very insightful and very helpful for
Oh,
us, especially
was
for
my
the
pleasure.
beginner. Thank you.
एनीवन कुछ बोलना है यार लड़कियों को रिस्पॉन्स आता ही नहीं है बिल्कुल है ना यार इसलिए पर टप्पा लड़के को रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आता
ऑनलाइन है तो इंटरेक्शन तो ऑनलाइन भी करना होगा ना, ऐसे ही चुप रहना है।
हाँ यार वो रिस्पॉन्स ही नहीं आता, वही मैं कहता हूँ. So one last chance, किसी को कुछ बोलना है? Nice and insightful session. Thanks, Shiva.
Thank you, Shika.
Ma'am, session अच्छा था. I learned a lot about freelancer.
Sure. Like if you have any further queries, you can like reach me out regarding industrial needs and everything.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we'll wrap up now. So thank you everyone for being here. It was really nice to have you all here, and thank you Amrita for giving us a precious time. I really hope we see each other again in these sessions, and if we can have a time. So I'll just have to say goodbye to you all. So
Okay, guys. Bye. Keep practicing. Keep practicing as many projects as you can, and just master it.
okay, one last
Uh,
one. Joe was asking, can you share your LinkedIn ID handle so that we can
yeah, yeah,
connect with you on that problem?
yeah. Sure. I'll
I think I
pass
have
on
yours.
to Ayush. He'll forward you.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
So hey, I'll just set up a session soon. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye, guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for the session, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Ciao.
सब लोग क्लिक करना चाहिए.